pumping every 2 to 3 hours, nursing on demand, pumping right after nursing, a guide on how to measure your nipple, a leak when I drink coconut water. So make sure you check your thyroid levels. Hey beautiful people, my name is Jeanette and thank you so much for tuning in. Today we are going to talk about something that is not talked about a lot, which is breastfeeding. I know everybody has their own experience when it comes to breastfeeding, and some mothers get so frustrated that they quit breastfeeding. Breastfeeding is hard and fed is best. If you are not able to breastfeed, that is okay. Anywho, I just want to share that I'm an oversupplier, and it's crazy to say because with my first, I wasn't producing much. I was making enough for her. But with my second, I'm producing so much. I am almost 7 months postpartum and my milk supply is all the way up there. I can say so much when it comes to breastfeeding, but I'm going to keep it cute. I have so many things here that I will share with you that helped with this journey. I have some milk I have pumped here. And I usually do the pitcher method. This is the pitcher from Dr. Brown's. I just pumped like 15 minutes ago after nursing, and this is what I got. So this is the breast pumps I've been using lately, my wearables. I'll talk about all that, but let's start from scratch. So 9 months I had my baby, and of course she came very hungry, but I was so tired and out of it that they just gave her formula. As I said, fed is best. I didn't care. I had to make sure my baby was fed. Breast milk supply doesn't usually come in right there after having the baby. It comes in 3 to 5 days after giving birth. The first day I told them I was too tired, I couldn't latch, I didn't want to latch, so they gave me a lactation consultant who came in the following day to help me latch. You do need the help when it comes to latching because some kids or some babies don't latch easily, and it can be frustrating for baby, it can be frustrating for mother. The biggest truth about milk supply, it works on supply and demand. So the more you latch, the more your breast milk is coming in. So there are these two hormones that I want to talk about: prolactin, oxytocin. Prolactin helps with the milk production and the oxytocin helps the letdown of the milk. The more milk is removed from your boobs, the more your body signals your brain to make more milk. Some people say they've tried everything. They've tried all the teas, they've tried all the cookies, and it's not working. Make sure you are latching. Latching a baby on the boob is not the same. Maybe it mimics, but it's not the same as constantly pumping. Pumping is hard work too. But if you are able to latch more, because I realized with my baby, the more I latched, the more my breasts were fuller. There was always milk coming through. Pumping and feeding frequently changed everything for me. I'm constantly pumping, I'm constantly nursing. So the first 6 weeks to 12 weeks is so important. You have to have a schedule. I was pumping every 2 to 3 hours, nursing on demand, pumping right after nursing, pumping every 2 to 3 hours. It's so much, okay? And it's taking so much out of your body. So as you are doing this, make sure you are eating, you are hydrating yourself. I'm going to get to that in a bit. Yeah, MOT, and they call it middle of the night pumping. The hours of 12 a.m. to 2 a.m. is when you are able to produce more milk. So it's very advisable not to skip pumping or feeding baby at that time. For the first 3 months, I never skipped pumping at midnight. I was so crazy about it. And the reason why I kept going was my baby hates formula. She gags on formula, so I had to keep going. She only wanted breast milk. She would throw up when you give her formula. So tried different formulas, it just didn't work. So I had to sacrifice myself and make sure I'm pumping and breastfeeding so she can have her breast milk. How much did I just pour? This was 12 ounces. I have like 10 ounces here too. I'm gonna pour it in. Okay, let's talk about pump and flange size. So what do I look for in a pump? So I'm going to do a separate video talking about my 2 pumps I've been using. I didn't go extra buying new pumps. I'm using my Mom Cozy M9. At first it was leaking, but then I figured it out and it's working beautifully. I've been using that for like the past 4 months consistently. I have put my Spectra somewhere and I've been using that and I haven't had any issues. But I would say that if you're a new mom, make sure you get the Spectra. Maybe get the blue one because that you can charge and move about with it. But for the pink one reason I hated it was because I was always plugged to a wall. Like I always had to sit down for like 20 to 30 minutes. It has to charge while you are pumping it. It was just too much. So this is what the Spectra looks like. I got it with my 4-year-old from insurance. I got the M9s to the wearables with my insurance. It's very bulky, but one thing I'll say is hospital grade, so it literally empties you. When I started pumping, I started with the Spectra, stopped, and I went to the M9s, and then I was so engorged, and then I got a clogged duct because I hadn't really learned how to use the M9s, and that was hell. And that can lead to mastitis, so just be careful. That's why I recommend for the first 3 months or 2 to 3 months, just make sure you're using the Spectra. It literally empties you. I don't know anybody who does not like the Spectra. I love it, okay, because it's hospital grade and the suction is very, very strong. When I use the Spectra, I pump for 20 minutes, but when I use the M9s, I pump for 30 minutes because that's when I feel like I am empty. The next point I want to mention is the flange size. I think that's why I went into these pumps. Flange size matters. It's like one of the most important things. If you have the wrong flange size, you are going to decrease your output, and also you can even destroy your nipples. The M9 comes and is 24mm flange size. Mom Cozy being so nice, they have different flange sizes in their box, and also they have a guide on how to measure your nipple, and then it shows you, it tells you what flange size you use. I knew the flange size I was already using before I started using this because I was measured in the hospital by the lactation consultant. So I'm going to take this insert out. So this is what it looks like. So I realized if I don't use the flange size, I wasn't getting the accurate output. I decided let's just use the correct flange size, and it made a big difference. You need to eat and eat very well. This is not the time to do any aggressive dieting. Come on. Once you're done breastfeeding, you can do your aggressive dieting, because as you are breastfeeding, you are using calories, honey. So make sure you are hydrating, you are eating well. Make sure you're eating the healthy fats, protein, complex carbohydrates, and iron-rich foods. I have some of the things, or some of the foods I was eating and some of the drinks I was having that really helped my milk supply. I'm going to first say water. Drink a lot of water. You need electrolytes. So coconut water does it for me. I promise you. Like, I leak when I drink coconut water. So my first 2 to 3 months, what I was doing was I will mix body armor with coconut water and some pineapple juice, put it in a pitcher this big, and drink it alongside my pitcher of water. It tasted so good. Your body needs to stay hydrated to make the milk. Ensure Plus, so I was drinking this, especially when I had my wisdom teeth surgery. I couldn't really eat. This Ensure drink really saved me, together with my Carnation breakfast essentials. They have it in different flavors. This is chocolate. They have strawberry, chocolate, vanilla, and it tastes so good. Actually, I prefer my Carnation breakfast essential to the Ensure, but both of them did it for me, and I still drink them here and there, especially when I feel like I haven't had enough food. I just drink one and drink water with it, and I'm always like full. Oatmeal is that girl. Anytime I feel like my supply was dipping, I eat oatmeal, and then yeah, we are back on track. Eggs, and I was eating a lot of steak. I'm not even a steak girl, but child, I was eating a lot of steak. I was eating a lot of protein and just hydrating. I want to talk about these lactation cookies. This is the Munchkin Milk Makers lactation cookie bites. I love it. I will snack on them, especially when I'm breastfeeding at nighttime. This was my go-to snack. Oatmeal chocolate chip cookies, and it tastes really good too. Let's just talk about the sunflower lecithin. It loosens existing fatty clogs and it supports milk flow. It will just melt it, and everything will just run down. I was taking 2 a day, but if you feel like there's a clog that's coming in, you take 4 daily. For maintenance, I was taking 1 to 2 just to have the milk flowing without even getting to that point of clog that. This is what it looks like. It's this gel capsule. One thing that surprised me was stress. Once you start stressing about, oh my god, my milk is going down, I'm losing my supply, then it dips even more. Your oxytocin will slow, and then your letdown will slow as well. So if you can, take in a deep breath, pray, meditate, anything that will make you relax to ease the stresses. When I'm breastfeeding, I just watch videos of my baby, take pictures, I get so excited, and that really helps. So if you're stressing when you're breastfeeding, you might get very little output compared to if you're feeling more relaxed. If you want better emptying, just massage while you are pumping. Because one thing I realized is when I'm breastfeeding, some parts of the boob still feel hard. I know it's TMI, but I'm just going to share this with you. There's no shame here. I change positions of my baby so that she can literally get everything out. But because I'm always so engorged or have so much milk supply, I have to pump sometimes before actually breastfeeding her, because the letdown is so much that she gets overwhelmed and then she doesn't want to drink anymore. Let me just say, I am an oversupplier, and that's not the same case for everybody, and that is okay. If you're making enough to feed your baby, that is okay. You are not feeding the freezer, you are feeding the baby. So if you're making enough to feed the baby, that's okay. Do not stress yourself out, because you're going to even cause more frustration to yourself, cause frustration to the baby, and then your milk supply will cry and backcry. I don't think I really missed anything right now. In my next video, I'm going to talk about the other tools that I use for breastfeeding that really help. I'll go in depth on the pumps I have. If you're struggling with breastfeeding or your supply is always truly low, make sure you check your thyroid levels, because I had that issue with my first and I didn't know. And when I got my thyroid levels good, that really helps with the milk supply. Funny enough, I didn't even know this, but once I figured that part out, my milk supply is up there. If you're having a low supply, just check your flange size and talk to your lactation consultant. If you've done everything you know you can and nothing is working, it's okay. That is best. If you're breastfeeding right now, comment how many months postpartum you are. Breastfeeding is natural and you are doing better than you think. I'm going to end this video here. I'll see you guys in my next one. I hope you enjoyed it. Once again, the name is Jeanette Mensah, and I'll see you. Bye.